Hey everyone, and welcome to the show. When you think of treasure hunting, it's all like pirates and buried chests, right?
Yeah, gold doubloons and pieces of eight.
But what if I told you that sometimes the real treasures are way weirder?
Like a way out there.
I'm talking about those moments where you're like, is this even real life anymore?
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly the kind of wild ride we're going on today as we deep dive into the world of Lucien and Kaitlin.
These two definitely don't have your average treasure hunting experience.
No, they do not. We're talking fantastical adventure, a romance that'll grab ya, and magic that'll make you question everything.
And a healthy dose of action to keep things interesting.
Definitely. So if you're digging these deep dives and want more awesomeness like this, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe.
There's a whole lot of crazy out there just waiting to be explored.
Today's treasure map leads us to The Misadventures of Lucien and Kaitlin Omnibus by Koleman.
You can find a link to that in the description.
Now, on the surface, this might seem like your typical adventure story. But trust me, there's a lot more going on here.
Oh yeah, there are layers.
We're talking about the nature of reality-human connection and how to roll with the punches when things get truly bizarre.
Which happens a lot with these two.
Oh, yeah. Strap yourselves in, folks, because things are about to get wild.
So the story kicks off with Lucien and Kaitlin stepping through this teleport chamber.
Imagine, like, stepping into a shimmering portal.
And they end up in this cavern.
Not just any cavern, though.
It's like something out of a dream.
There are these glowing blue crystals everywhere, lighting up the whole place.
And then you have these massive fungi growing all over.
Red, purple, blue. It's like a rave in a cave.
Furiously.
And right in the middle of it all is this huge lizard creature.
Huge, like seriously massive.
Covered in armor.
Yeah, and surrounded by bones.
But not just random bones, they're arranged in these weird patterns.
Like somebody laid them out on purpose.
Super creepy, right?
Yeah.
And get this, Lucien's mask, which like identifies things for him.
Super handy piece of tech.
It can't even figure out what this creature is.
Unknown origin.
Talk about setting the tone for this whole adventure.
Right from the get-go. You know, you're in for something unusual.
So naturally, they're a little freaked out, right? Like, do we even try to get past this thing?
Lucien's all for pushing forward, of course.
Treasure fever is real.
But he's also not thrilled about the alternative, which is a long journey back by ship.
He gets seasick.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, actually. Kaitlin teases him about it a bit.
Oh, they love to poke fun at each other.
It's cute, though.
It really is. And this is where we get some great insight into their relationship.
Like, even in this crazy situation, they're still totally comfortable with each other.
Yeah, they're bantering, they're affectionate, and hey, they even compliment each other's protective gear.
Fashionable and functional.
Exactly. And the way they're described, like Kaitlin with her bronze hair and golden eyes, Lucien with his salt and pepper hair and sapphire eyes, you can just picture them standing there in this otherworldly cavern.
You get a real sense of who they are, both individually and as a couple.
And their solution to getting past the lizard thing, fly over it.
Using their gear, of course.
And they're holding hands while they do it.
It's like a little romantic flight through a glowing cave.
It's actually really sweet.
But then, just when you think they're in the clear,
Yeah.
this gigantic bat swoops down at them.
Well, with like fangs the size of knives.
It's a close call.
This whole sequence is a perfect example of what makes this story so compelling.
You've got wonder, you've got danger, and you've got that connection between Lucien and Kaitlin that just anchors everything.
And it never lets up.
Not for a second.
Okay, so they make it past the lizard, they dodge the bat, and finally they reach their goal, the arcane vault.
Time for some treasure.
But hold on, this is no ordinary vault?
No, this is high-security magic stuff.
Kaitlin spots these runes on the wall.
Arcane symbols glowing with power.
And she realizes that any attempt to use magic to get in is going to trigger some serious defenses.
Like, this is a vault that's meant to keep people out.
And then there's the door itself.
Solid and imposing with this intricate crystal lock.
We're talking a combination lock made entirely of crystals.
Beautiful and deadly.
There are literally crushed skeletons scattered around the door.
People who tried to force their way in and failed?
This is where Lucien steps up with his expertise.
A man's got a knack for these things.
He pulls out this rectangular metal object. It's dark matte and etched with all these mystic symbols and gemstones.
It's kind of unassuming at first.
But then he whispers this activation password.
And the whole thing transforms.
Into this spider-like machine with multiple eyes and all these little tools and appendages.
That's like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Totally. Oh, and of course, Lucien, being Lucien, he's given it a name.
Let me guess, Charlotte.
Bingo.
All right.
And before Charlotte gets to work on the lock, Lucien activates a sound damping field.
Smart, thinking that thing probably makes a racket when it transforms.
Right. Don't want to wake the giant lizard or attract any more bats.
So Charlotte's analyzing the crystal lock, and Lucian's all focused and intense.
Meanwhile, Caitlin's like, okay, time for a little break.
She's going to catch up on her journal.
But this is Lucien and Kaitlin we're talking about. Downtime never lasts long.
No, it does not.
Her mask suddenly alerts her to something nearby.
A new creature.
And this one is truly bizarre.
A purplish humanoid mushroom man.
With small holes all over its body emitting white smoke.
Like it's breathing out smoke.
I know, right? But the mask identifies it as a shroom folk and says it's harmless.
So naturally, Caitlin's first thought is, could I keep one as a pet?
She's got a thing for the unusual.
But then things take a turn.
A very interesting turn.
The shroom folk starts communicating with Kaitlin telepathically.
And it mentions having an ailment.
While emitting more of those white fluffy things.
It's all very mysterious.
And then, the shroom folk reveals a certain appendage.
Shaped like a cucumber.
Apparently those white fluffy things are horny spores.
And Kaitlin, well, let's just say she gets caught up in the moment.
Things get very explicit.
The text doesn't shy away from the details, folks.
Yes.
Let's just leave it at that.
Multiple shroom folk get involved.
And Kaitlin is very vocal about her enjoyment.
Meanwhile, back at the vault, Charlotte finally cracks the lock.
The door swings open, revealing a ton of treasure.
Lucian's ecstatic. He calls out for Kaitlin, all excited to show her.
And then he sees her,
naked, glistening in the dim light of the cavern.
looking a little dazed.
I'd be dazed too after that experience.
So Lucian's like, what happened? And Kaitlin just casually says, oh, I got fucked by a bunch of mushroom men.
Like it's no big deal.
And blames it all on the horny spores.
Which, to be fair, is probably accurate.
Right. So they head back to their ship with the treasure, and Kaitlin takes a long shower.
Probably needed after that encounter.
But later on, they're looking through the recordings from Caitlin's mask.
You know, for documentation purposes.
And there's footage of her with a big red shroom man.
Very detailed footage.
Lucian's reaction is kind of funny. He's not grossed out or anything. He's more like fascinated by the whole horny spore thing.
He's a scientist at heart.
And then poor Madeline, their cabin steward, walks in at the exact wrong moment.
Sees Kaitlin naked and the recording playing.
He faints on the spot.
I mean, can you blame him?
Not really. And this whole thing just highlights how different Lucien and Caitlin's lives are from most people's.
They've got this whole other world of weirdness going on.
Speaking of weirdness, we got to talk about their party entertainment device.
It's basically a section of their cabin wall with a cylindrical passage.
It's kind of kinky, right?
That's because it is.
Caitlin even gets stuck in it at one point while wearing a maid costume and a collar that says CUMDUMP.
They're very open about their kinks.
That's one way to put it.
But even when they're trying to have fun, things get strange.
Like while she's stuck in the device, Kaitlin feels something warm and coiling around her legs.
At first she thinks it's a snake.
But then it starts to feel good.
Like tingling and pleasant.
Very reminiscent of those horny spores.
It seems the effects linger.
Lucien finds her like this, and he's worried at first.
But later, they review the security footage.
And things get even weirder.
There's Kaitlin stuck in the wall.
And these tentacles with these suggestive heads are all over her.
It's very explicit.
And Kaitlin is clearly enjoying it.
They actually end up watching this recording together while Caitlin's grinding on Lucien.
And then their new maid walks in.
Another unfortunate witness to their unique brand of entertainment.
This time it's Madeline.
She faints too.
Lucien just sighs and tells Cornelius his robotic butler to take care of it.
Like it's an everyday occurrence.
It kind of is for them.
So then they find this map in a bottle.
A real message in a bottle, just like in the stories.
It points to an uncharted island.
Surrounded by a ring of crazy thunderstorms.
Like unnatural storms that never stop.
But as their ship, the Chercheur de Tresor, approaches the island, the storms vanish.
Like they were never there.
It's almost like the island is inviting them in.
Or warning them away.
Either way, they gotta check it out, right?
Of course. Adventure calls.
So they take a landing boat with some armed guards, just in case.
Safety first.
And they find this incredible golden tower.
Just standing there on the shore of a perfectly clear lake.
No plants in the lake, nothing, just water and this tower.
And the tower door has no handle. No lock.
Nothing.
It's a total mystery.
Naturally, Lucien and Kaitlin decide to touch it.
And bam.
They're teleported to this grassy hill in a strange valley.
The sky is this weird yellowish color.
Like they're on another planet.
Right. And almost immediately, Kaitlin runs into this creepy guy.
Tall, haggard, wearing a pointy hat.
You could just tell he's bad news.
But then she hears a voice. A soft feminine whisper coming from the leaves of a plant.
Turns out it's a dryad named Nissa.
She's trapped in a cage on top of a hill.
and she can communicate through plants.
It's pretty cool, actually.
She asks Kaitlin for help, saying the key to her cage burns her to the touch.
So Kaitlin sets out to find the key.
And this is where she encounters the cockbirds.
I'm not making this up, folks.
These creatures are bizarre.
They're like fleshy, staff-shaped bodies with wings and bird heads.
They're basically living penises.
It's as weird as it sounds.
Apparently, they're the creations of Alatrix.
Who's either a crazy wizard or a trickster god, nobody's really sure.
Either way, he's got a strange sense of humor.
So how does Kaitlin get the key from these cockbirds?
Well, she strokes them,
And they ejaculate.
allowing her to grab the key while they're distracted.
It's a very Lucien and Kaitlin solution.
Gets the job done.
Kaitlin frees Nissa, and they escape through a portal that Nissa creates using an old tree.
Back to the island near the Golden Tower.
And as they're about to leave, a treasure chest washes ashore.
Talk about convenient.
Nissa thinks it's a reward from Alatrix.
For entertaining him with their antics.
And she warns them that Alatrix's interest in them is not a good thing.
It's a little ominous.
Definitely. Back on their ship, Nissa's feeling a little overwhelmed by everything.
She decides to stay in Lucien and Kaitlin's cabin.
She feels safe with them.
And she's really enjoying the shower.
It's the little things, right?
And things start getting weird again.
The Golden Tower reappears near the ship.
Like it's following them.
And the cockbirds are back.
This time they're gathering outside Lucien and Kaitlin's cabin window.
And even coming inside.
Kaitlin and Nissa are a little drunk.
And things get a little out of hand.
Let's just say those cockbirds get put to good use.
It's a very Lucien and Kaitlin party.
Now, even though they live this crazy life, Lucien and Kaitlin still have to attend social events.
Like this fancy royal masquerade ball in Nouveau Paris.
They clean up pretty well.
And Kaitlin can't resist making a sarcastic comment about Lucien potentially getting Nissa pregnant.
She's always got a quip ready.
But the ball takes a turn when a woman tries to steal this golden cube.
It's a valuable artifact.
Lucien, being the quick thinker he is, uses an electrical device to subdue her.
Turns out the thief is a caster named Eloise Beaumont.
They chase her to this abandoned warehouse.
And guess who shows up?
If you guessed the purple tentacle sphere, you're right.
It's back and it's shapeshifted.
This time it's all tendrils, and it captures Eloise.
Kaitlin's strangely excited to see it again.
Like she has some kind of connection to it.
It's weird.
But Eloise explains that she stole the cube to buy back her brother Luke.
He's being held by a cult of Bastet worshippers.
They're planning to sacrifice him.
Heavy stuff.
And then the tentacle sphere does something really unexpected.
It transforms into this tube and shoots another purple sphere at Kaitlin.
But Kaitlin doesn't even try to dodge it.
She just lets it envelop her.
But she wants it.
It's very strange.
Lucien and Kaitlin capture Eloise, whose real name is Marie, and they take the two new purple spheres.
They use a memory recording device on Marie to find out where her brother's being held.
It's like something out of a spy movie.
They infiltrate the cult's underground base, the Pleasure House.
Which is not as fun as it sounds.
They find Luke and a bunch of other prisoners.
And then they face off against the cult leader,
who transforms into a were-lioness.
She's worshipping this idol of Bastet.
Lucien destroys the idol.
And they rescue Luke and the prisoners.
They leave the were-lioness alive, though.
They're not murderers.
Marie is reunited with her brother, and Lucien gives them money to leave the city.
A little reward for the trouble.
But then Kaitlin notices something.
The were-lioness is watching them.
Turns out her name is Pervina, and she's the divine emissary of Bastet.
So their run-in with the cult wasn't over after all.
Back at their hideout, Lucien is busy working at Lavoisier Labs.
Caitlin's feeling a little neglected.
So she goes lingerie shopping with their friend Henri.
And she ends up modeling the lingerie for some guys in the store.
It's like a little confidence boost.
And then who shows up?
Pervina.
But she's not there to fight.
She's actually quite friendly.
She says that Bastet respects Lucien and Caitlin's strength.
It's a total surprise.
And Kaitlin, being Kaitlin, invites Pervina to stay with them at the hideout.
Now they've got a were-Wazianus as a roommate.
It's never dull with these two.
Pervina shows Kaitlin how to create a conduit to Bastet using a little cat figurine.
They make offerings to Bastet.
And the offerings vanish.
Like, poof, gone.
Kaitlin starts feeling Bastet's presence.
It's very intense and sensual.
Kaitlin's really drawn to it.
She even invites Pervina to shower with her.
And offers the pleasure of a good shower to Bastet.
The connection between Kaitlin and Bastet gets stronger.
It's like a constant caress.
And then they have a vision.
Or maybe it's real.
They're at Bastet's temple.
And Bastet is there.
She tells them that Alatrix created the purple spheres.
And the mushroom men's affliction.
And the cockbirds.
Bastet says they need to build shrines to her.
And offer their pleasure to her.
To gain power against Alatrix.
And then Bastet seemingly impregnates Pervina.
It's a lot to process.
Definitely. Kaitlin tells Lucien everything.
He's skeptical at first.
Thinks she's gone crazy.
But then Kaitlin makes an offering vanish using the cat figurine.
Right in front of him.
Bastet's presence is undeniable.
And then Bastet possesses Pervina.
Just for a moment.
To confirm her message.
She declares Lucien and Kaitlin as her chosen.
It's a big deal.
And she hints that their unborn child will be powerful.
Bastet even suggests they have a daughter as well.
To balance things out.
So what do Lucien and Kaitlin do?
They make an offering to Bastet.
A very personal offering.
Lucien creates copies of himself.
And they all engage in a multi-person sexual encounter with Kaitlin and Pervina.
It's a very Lucien and Kaitlin way to worship a goddess.
And the safe containing the purple spheres vanishes.
Bastet has taken it.
We see her in her spirit realm, excited about the arrival of the safe.
And these squid-like creatures are emerging from it.
It's clear that Bastet has her own plans for those spheres.
And Lucien and Kaitlin are caught right in the middle of it.
So there you have it, folks.
One hell of a deep dive.
We've gone from bioluminescent caverns to interdimensional travel.
From horny spores to divine intervention.
This story has it all.
And it leaves us with so many questions.
What's Alatrix going to do next?
What kind of power will Bastet grant to Lucien and Kaitlin?
What are those squid things?
And what other crazy adventures await our intrepid treasure hunters?
We want to hear your thoughts.
What was your favorite moment?
What made you go, whoa, did that really just happen?
Let us know in the comments.
Like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more deep dives into the weird and wonderful.
There's a whole universe of strangeness out there just waiting to be explored.
Thanks for joining us.